Welcome back, or welcome for the very first time to Worms and Warriors. We're back with Grand Tactician the Civil War, and we're about to fight the historical battle of Glorieta Pass. We have fought all the previous engagements so far. We've done the first Manassas, Wilson's Creek, and P Ridge. So now we're on to Glorieta Pass. So if you missed those previous battles and you want to see them, check it out on my channel. There's a playlist that'll take you back to the whole list of battles and just pick the one you want to go for. A quick note that this video is chaptered. So if there's any bits you don't want to watch, just go ahead to the chapter where you want to get to. A quick note that we've just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate anybody who takes the time to follow, leave a comment, or generally engage with the channel, it's great. I'm obviously just some dude on the internet playing obscure-ish strategy games or old strategy games. You know, I appreciate anyone who takes the time to watch this stuff. It's just a little hobby I've got going on. And it's great. It's great fun. So it's going to be the Battle of Glorieta Pass. The Battle of Glorieta Pass was actually like a series of small engagements fought out in the far west theatre around Santa Fe and Albuquerque. So we're going to be doing the fight for Pigeons Ranch. And it says Sibley's the commander of this, but actually it's Scurry. So we've got Lieutenant Colonel William R. Scurry, backed up by Major Pyron, and his Texas guy. And we are fighting Colonel John P. Slough. His commanders are Chivington and Tappan. I'm not sure if Slough is on the field. So really, this is a very, very small engagement. We're going to have 700 Union troops fielded against 1,100 Confederates. 3 guns to their 8. 700 of our men will be mounted. 230 of theirs are mounted. And historically, this was a Union strategic victory. On the field, it was pretty even, as we can see by the casualties. Obviously, percentage-wise, Union suffered more, but numbers fairly even. But the Confederacy lost their supply train, which put them in a whole heap of trouble. And historically, it was a disaster for Sibley, who ended up retreating. And Sibley was then kind of removed from tactical command and placed in charge of wagon trains and the like. So a bit of a demotion for him, really. If you've ever seen the film The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Sibley's retreat is portrayed in that movie. It's one of my favourite movies, favourite westerns anyway. And it's well worth a look if you've never seen it. Not that this section of it is particularly prominent or anything, but it is mentioned in the film, which is nice. So we're going to go right ahead here. We're going to play this on very hard, like the previous battles. We're going to leave it on historical. We are the Confederacy, of course. And it's March the 28th, 1862, Glorieta Pass. Let's do this. So there's an interesting quote here. Sibley is heartily despised by every man in the brigade for his want of feeling, poor generalship, and cowardice. The feeling and expression of the whole brigade is never to come up here again unless mounted and under a different general. This is one of the guys from Company C, the 4th Texas Mounted Rifles, describing Sibley during Glorieta Pass campaign. I mean, he was famous for being a drunkard. He was generally not a very efficient guy. Not the man to lead this Confederate offensive at all. And it's a shame, really, because I feel like if the Confederacy had been a bit more organised and a bit more proactive in the Trans-Mississippi and the Far West, I mean, things could have been different in the Western theatre, but, I mean, who knows? It's one of those endlessly discussed things. Anyway, let's get going here. About 3 o'clock in the morning, we reached Major Pyron's encampment at Johnson's Ranch, Canyon Saito. There had been an agreed cessation of hostilities until 8 o'clock in the morning. Too much praise cannot be bestowed upon the courage of the officers and men engaged in the affair of the 26th. So talking about the previous engagement from a couple of days previous. So says W.R. Scurry. The enemy still not making their appearance, I have concluded to march forward and attack them. The enemy force under Colonel Slough is most likely falling back to Fort Union, and we must defeat them in a sharp conflict before they can slip away. The enemy army is green with good morale, the supply situation excellent. A small wagon guard of 100 men and 1 cannon will be left at Johnson's Ranch, ready to continue through Glorieta Pass when the battle is won. Colonel William R. Scurry. Okay, so we're going to have a quick look at the forces. There's not much here. It's pretty small. I mean, I'm going to come out with this HQ view. Let's check the order of battle. I mean, it's called the Army of New Mexico. It's not much of an army. We've got Scurry here, who is a colonel. I'm sure it said it was lieutenant colonel before, but it doesn't really make much difference. Anyway, we've got him in charge here of a brigade-sized force, a small brigade, 1,095 men. We've got the 2nd Texas Infantry under Pyron, 300 men. 4th Texas Mounted Volunteers, 250 men. 5th Mounted Volunteers, also from Texas, another 250 men. The 7th also mounted and 250 men. And then we're backed up with 3 guns under Lieutenant James Bradford. Okay, so not much of an army, but then neither has the Union got much. We're positioned just here, just to this section of the northern section of Glorieta Pass. A couple of objectives here. The Pigeons Ranch is just down there, as we can see, along the Santa Fe Trail. The Union hold this point down here. It says defend your position, but like, I think it's going to be a pretty offensive engagement. But what we're going to do, we're going to advance here. And I'm going to maybe have a look into building a couple of defenses here and just seeing if we can get them done before the Union advances. If they advance, I mean, I don't even know if they will. But if not, they don't. The terrain's fairly open. We've got a little bit of an escarpment here, a little bit of a hill. So maybe that's something we can think about. We are going to go ahead and give orders to advance. Just to here. And then we'll see what's what. Let's get started. It's 10:18 in the morning. Just a little note that I am away on holiday again next week for a few days, best part of a week, so there might not be any videos next week. So if you're watching these week to week, then there might be another little gap. I know I've just come back from another holiday, but we have got another one going. It's just a little UK vacation we've got happening. Nothing too exciting, but it does interfere with the old gaming schedule. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit, let our initial orders get going here, get moving. Cavalry's on the move, infantry coming up a bit slower, as you would expect. And the guns just here. Alright. I'm going to set up a few defences, like I say, and just see what happens. I have no idea if defences will be effective in this fight at all. If not, they're not. I mean, I'm really not that fussed. You know. Plus, of course, we have to build the defences. We've dismounted a couple of these units. I'm going to keep one cavalry unit mounted. The infantry, I'm actually going to move out onto the flank. I know you probably think you put the cavalry on the flank, but the terrain's a bit crap. I'm going to put the infantry out here on the flank. The guns are going to go in the centre between these two breastworks, which are dismounted cav. It's going to construct for us. So far, we're quite happy to just wait for the Union to advance. Just speeding this up to times 20. There's not much happening. I'm going to advance the 7th just a little bit here. See if we can get a view on what's happening. And as I say, I mean, it might be that nothing happens at all. See if we can get some eyes on the Union. Unlimber the guns. No sign of the Union so far. Oops, I've still got the guns selected. I don't want them going all the way forward, but we do want the cav to advance a little. We have spotted the Union. Substantial small units of these infantry units. I mean, let's have a look what we've got here. G Company, 1st Colorado. I think that must be what it is. K Company. These are all 75-man units, so tiny little forces. 65 men in this one. Field Battalion, main column. Is that the 3rd US Cavalry? C Squadron, maybe? Cavalry out on their flank there. 75 men. The larger cavalry, 95 men. And another unit of 75 men. So they are small forces, but there's lots of them. Not sure how well armed they're going to be, but I guess we'll find out. If we can draw these guys in, that would be really great, but I mean, I doubt we will. Maybe we can. Let's do some skirmishing with these guys. So the fight started here. Cavalry action. We're going to pull our boys back. We're not fighting this. There's infantry there now as well. Lost quite a few men. Not sure why we started panicking here. We're just fine. We're retreating in good order. We'll let the 7th Texas recover and see if the Union make any move towards us. I doubt they will, but they might. Here come the Union. They are actually advancing. I didn't think they would be, but they are. Going to send our skirmishers out from Pigeon's company, battalion, regiment, whatever the hell it is. Battalion, maybe. It's pretty small. Pigeon's going to advance on our right flank. Pigeon skirmishers engaged. C Squadron of the 3rd US Cavalry. I think that's what they are. Should be a tough fight because I bet they are armed with decent carbines. Here they come now. Into our defences, mounted. That's E Squadron. And they are about an inch out of range of our men. So we cannot engage. We're going to have to advance. This is ridiculous, isn't it? We are going to have to advance out of our defences. Pigeon's main body is moving up. The skirmishers are doing a nice job. They only lost one man. Inflicted some casualties on C Squadron. We are going to advance with the 5th Texas. C Squadron is retreating. Pirate and Skirmish has now lost 3 men, which is, I mean, doesn't sound like much, but there's only 70 of them, so. D Company's coming up here. The infantry's pushing out to our right, their left. The 5th Texas is now advancing under Major Shropshire. And we sent these boys running as well, so we're going to mount up the 4th Texas. And let's get them forward. Hit these boys in the rear. And we'll also advance with the 7th Texas. Let's pull Pirates boys back. Get those skirmishers out of there. Couple of volleys have sent F Squadron running, but now we're going to be facing quite a heap of infantry. Sure what he's playing at turning like this. See if we can strike these guns before they can unlimber. Pyron's going to have himself a hard fight here because there's so many troops. We have now arrived to give some flanking fire, and that sent them running straight away. The K Company guys didn't like that one bit. The enemy's retreating, they've had enough already, so this was a real quick engagement. Well, that went very smoothly. A lot of dead Union guys here in these woods. It was an enjoyable little fight, actually. I mean, it was pretty easy, but it was good nonetheless. Sometimes the smaller fights are the best. Yeah, so it looks like pretty much every Federal soldier is running or ready to run. G Company's still in the field, and so is this artillery battery here, the heavy artillery. Let's get after them. I'm going to speed it up a bit, it's just a mopping up action, really. Yeah, they've had enough straight away. And who can blame them, really? Whoa, why are they charging in? Well, looks like we have to capture or wipe them out. Either way, I'm quite happy with it. Great Confederate success here, I would say. Nicely done. Let's speed this up and get it done. $400 casualties for the Union. 50% almost. 82 for us. So somewhere close to historical numbers. For us, massively high for those guys though. So that was it. A major Confederate victory here. The Battle of Glorieta Pass. It was a pretty easy one, to be fair. The next one, I believe, is Shiloh, which is going to be a long one and a difficult one for the Confederacy. But if you enjoyed this one, why not leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what you thought of it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you want to follow us along. But that's it for now. I'll be back in about a week's time with more content. Have a great day, whatever you're doing, and I will catch you later.